Alright, so this morning I'm hitting my lap, and my lap always starts off the same way because I try to start my morning with gratitude, and anytime I'm processing the things that I'm grateful for, that's always gonna take my train of thought to Lily because like I'm just seeing all of this stuff play out in myself and kind of connecting dots. They say you can't connect dots forward, only backwards. So I'm looking back over my life at the things that we've experienced, the conversations we've had, the things we've done to each other, the things we've done for each other, the sacrifices we made for each other. And I'm thinking about like, what did it mean at the time? What does it mean now? Why was there such a disconnect between intentions and outcomes? But I'm grateful to have that experience to draw off now to make better decisions and to progress and grow as a person. So I try to pray first thing when I wake up, but sometimes I don't. So whenever, it don't matter where I'm at, whenever I realize like, okay, I didn't pray, I'll pray. So normally if I get out the house without praying before I leave, it's somewhere on my lap. I'm listening to a podcast and then I'll realize I didn't, or I'm listening to music and then I realize I didn't pray. So I'll hit my beats, turn it off, and then I'll just pray while I'm walking. I don't stop. It's not in my head. I'm saying it out loud. Sometimes people be looking at me crazy, but the point is, anytime I go down that road, then my mind will wander. Once I start saying everything that I'm grateful for, I'll say I'm grateful for something, and then I'll start thinking about a situation or scenario, and then my mind kind of wanders. So I realized I kind of stopped mid prayer, and now my thoughts shifted to forgiveness, understanding, all of this, and now I'm going down this road of, I made a video, I don't know, a few days ago where I said I need to make a video, or I'm going to make a video about sexual assault and the impact, some situations that I'm aware of, situations that I've been in. And one of the first things I said was that I've never been a victim of sexual assault, but I know victims. So I'm thinking about this and I'm like, is that really true? Now, I've never had an interaction where like a man did anything to me, but then I think about like, as a man, do we really want to say or even consider that maybe we were taken advantage of, or maybe we were sexually assaulted? Because that's just not normal. Or it's not looked at as normal. I really didn't give it any consideration. It was a quick statement. I thought nothing of it, but once I put some thought into it, it was like the way, it's a lot of gray area. I don't think most people really understand how much sexual assault impacts individuals, their growth, their ability to establish and maintain relationships, their thought processes, self-worth, all of that. But most people just like either think it's a woman being assaulted by a man or a man being assaulted by a man, but never really a man being assaulted by, or very rarely a man being assaulted by a woman. And then even if that happened, I think most of the time the man won't even perceive it as assault. But the reason I was thinking about this is because it's a situation that I'm really conflicted about, because somebody accused me of sexual assault, and then like in my mind, it's like, yo, that ain't even close to what happened. Like, it was no force. Like, it was literally kind of played out exactly how that person instructed me to behave in order to get some. You know what I mean? Like, somebody tell you everything they want, and then you do everything that they told you to do to get them in the mood, and then afterwards they say, you know, you sexually assaulted them. And like, that's, you know, blew my mind. But it's like, okay, but did that anyway? So while I'm thinking about that, I'm like, okay, so how could, because I really try to understand what people are thinking. Now, the flip side of that situation is, okay, this same person, right, has been in similar situations with other people. And then also, it's a situation where I feel like it is no gray area. It's black and white. Like, there's no confusion. You know, in a situation where that person will be clear that they're not interested in having sex. So I'm processing this and I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, the thing everybody fall back on is, again, no means no. If you express verbally that you're not interested in having sex, that's what it means. No matter what, like, you gotta have verbal consent. And then it's a million situation where there's no type of verbal consent, but it's understood. So I understand it's a very confusing, gray situation. And some people will say it is black and white, right? It's not gray at all. It's black and white if somebody said no. But what if they didn't say no? What if they didn't express in any type of way that they weren't interested? What if they participated, whatever else, and simply after the fact regretted it, or decided, you know, I didn't really want to do it, I just let it happen? Like, so my position is, it is gray as hell, but I do understand the people that, again, if you want to plant your flag on this black and white, I just know it's too many situations where somebody is not verbally saying, I want to have sex with you, or I want to make love to you, or whatever the case is. So I'm thinking about this, and it popped in my head like, man, I was in a situation where I was in a relationship. And this is the thing about me. I'm never going to act like I'm perfect. I cheated on people. I lied to people. I was abusive. Again, I've been in situations where people accuse me of sexual assault. I've been in situations where, you know, I didn't think it was sexual assault. Like, and then now that I'm thinking about, like, damn, was I sexually assaulted? Because I didn't really want that to happen. And I did express that I didn't want it to happen. But, you know, people not taking no for an answer. And as a man, like, how do you reconcile? Okay, like, you let a woman half your size basically force you to do something you didn't want to do. So, nah, you wanted to do it. Like, a man would rather be a cheater than a victim of sexual assault. So, I don't want to make this too long, because, like, this is actually going to have to be multiple videos. And once they get to a certain length, it takes forever to upload. So with all of that being said, different people, different situations, probably, I would say, a half dozen things for me to question about whether somebody really believes that I sexually assaulted them, to whether somebody actually just intentionally was trying to, I don't know, attack or ruin my reputation as a man. If it's a situation where, you know what, I'm sorry, you know, if I was aggressive, if I forced myself, like, whatever the case is. And again, it's only, in my opinion, it's only one person that I've had this discussion with, and it's still not black and white. And I mean, that involves me. So all that being said, to say, I was thinking when I was younger, two situations. So I don't even remember how old I was. And the reason that I bring it up is because when I was a teenager, I was in a relationship with a woman that was in her early 30s. I don't know if I started talking to her when I was 17 or when I was 18, whatever the case is. But, like, I have heard her say, you know, decades later, that she was wrong for that. And, like, she took advantage of me or whatever. And I never felt like that. And then it's another situation where I was just in a relationship, and I really always had the intentions of being faithful. I'm a very loyal person. So, but I was young and I was in a situation where I allowed myself to be manipulated or taken advantage of. I'm still hesitant to say sexually assaulted, but I mean, anybody can be the judge. So if it was a woman, and that's what really made me think about it, because I feel like if it was a woman, then people will just say she was sexually assaulted. But when it's a man, it's like you let it happen. So I was in a relationship, and then it was somebody that I used to deal with. They had moved away, moved out of town. And I always had the bad habit of trying to keep up and maintain friendships with my exes, because when I was young, I was very naive and even arrogant about my character, my integrity. Like, nobody can ever make me, compromise my honor. Like, I really thought like that. I used to make dumb statements like, man, I don't care. Because when I was in high school, like, Jada Pinkett was it, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I don't care if I'm in a relationship. I don't care if Jada Pinkett was in a room with me butt naked. Like, I wouldn't touch her. Like, right. So in this particular situation, this individual, she was coming in town to visit. She said she wanted to see me. I told my girlfriend, I actually took her and introduced her to my girlfriend because we hung out. And during the time we hung out, she tried to have sex with me. I turned her down. And I was still living with my grandparents. So I had a car. My girlfriend lived across town. The girl who was in town visiting, I don't even know where she was staying, but I think like she was staying down the street from my grandparents' house, and I was still living with my grandparents. So introduced them. My girl had to work that day, so I hung out with the other chick all day. Like she said, she tried to sleep with me during the time we was hanging out. I turned her down, and like she had pretty much told me before she came in town that we was gonna have sex. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, we ain't nothing happening between us because I'm in a relationship. And she was like, I don't care. Like, it's still gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna make it happen. So I don't know how old I was. I want to say, again, I think I was like 18 or 19. So hung out, dropped her off. I actually picked my girl up from work, took her home because that was just my routine. Like, I took her to work and then I dropped her off so her mom didn't have to worry about it. So picked my girl up from work, took her home, and then I went home. So I went home and went to sleep. And I stayed in my grandparents' basement. So I had my own phone downstairs because my grandparents got me my own phone because this was back in the day where, calls coming through, you got to click over. We didn't have cell phones, all of that. So it's middle of the night. And I would say it's probably like 1:30 in the morning. So this girl calls my phone. So I answer the phone and she like, I'm at the door. So either you're gonna come let me in or I'm gonna start ringing the doorbell and wake your grandparents up. So I go let her in. All right. So I let her in. We go down in the basement and I'm like, I'm still not fucking with you. So I don't even know what we did. I just know the way my room was set up. I had two twin beds in my room because a lot of times my grandmom's godson would stay over there. So we had two beds in the same room, or sometimes my little brother would be over there or one of my friends. Like, it was always somebody staying at my grandparents' house. So anyway, I'm just in this situation like, man, this chick tripping. But I said what I said, it is what it is. So basically I end up falling asleep. And I wake up and she giving me head. So now again, reverse the roles. If that was me and I told her we was gonna have sex no matter how she felt, blah, 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 blah. She told me no, she turned me down multiple times, and then I did the same thing. Then people would say I sexually assaulted her. But I never one time considered that. Like, I just woke up like, damn, because this is somebody, it's not like I wasn't attracted to her. It's not like I didn't even have a desire to have sex with her. I was just trying to be faithful. So now it's like, and this is how I justified it. No matter what, at this point, like, I'm gonna tell my girl and she gonna feel like I cheated. So I cheated. Cause again, that sounds better than saying I got, and who even gonna believe, like, come on, man, like that's not even realistic. So you gonna basically say this chick took advantage of you. So I was just thinking about that this morning. And this is already getting long. And like I said, it's a lot of different scenarios, but I said all that to say this, man, a lot of people have been sexually assaulted. A lot of people have been victims and perpetrators of sexual assault. And we don't even recognize it. We don't even acknowledge it. We don't even, some of the victims don't identify as victims. A lot of the perpetrators don't identify as perpetrators. But if you really analyze it and process it, more people than you think are actually both. And I'm one of those people. So, I mean, that'll never change, because no matter, even I can make it to 120, that's still a part of my history. And that's something that I feel like it's important to put out there, because I hate that I have so many questions about my dad, my mom, their history, my grandparents, their history, because it's whispers, it's rumors, it's whatever. And then, like, once you so many decades removed from what happened, then, you know, people's memories are very, very funny, and people tend to justify whatever emotion they associated with an event and then reconstruct it in their mind. And sometimes that's not even what happened. That's why when I tell the stories that I tell and I talk about my memories, I do try to be clear. These are my memories. I'm not saying this is 100% accurate. I'm saying this is my recollection based off my experience in the situation. So with that being said, like, I do feel like in one situation that I was a perpetrator. Did I beat somebody or force myself? No, but it's the same type shit. Like, when you won't take no for an answer, and you know, you trying to do whatever, like, to get what you want without being forceful. I don't know. So, yeah, I just gotta, like, put this out, because I think I will not be, like, where I need to be mentally until I, like, put everything out, because the purpose of this is to be real. And anything that I hold back, then I feel like I'm not being real. So, like, that weighs on me even more. So, and to the only individual in that situation that, you know who it is, I've already addressed that and apologized. There's nothing I can ever do to change it. And I know what's come of it in our relationship and what it is to this point, but I just wanted to put this video out because I never considered that I had been a victim, only that I've been accused and been a perpetrator. And then when I really kind of even was open to it, and I found, like, literally three different times, actually four, because I just thought of enough. So, like, 4 different times as a man where it was like women who forced themselves on me. And because I'm a man, like, even though I didn't want it, no matter what happened, because it didn't all result in sex, but again, other stuff was done, I wasn't interested in it. I didn't want it. I expressed that, and it didn't matter. It was ignored. So did I feel like a victim? No. But do I see how easy it is to be a victim? Yes. Do those people think that they were a perpetrator? Probably not. So do I see how easy it is to be a perpetrator? Yes. So it's so much content for this subject of sexual assault and the impact, but I just wanted to get started with myself and just the acknowledgement that I've been on both sides of it. And I know some people probably want details, and if it's somebody that I'm close enough to, you can holler at me, because I'm not finna put out other people's business, because that's not my position, that's not my right, that's not my job. My job is to tell my truth. So that's what I'm doing. But for anybody that don't want to like deal with me because of that, like, I can understand that. Like, I ain't really tripping, because the whole point of this right here is for the people that actually are in my life to be in my life for me, to know who I am, and to allow me to know who they are, so that it's no judgment, it's acceptance, it's genuine. Whatever it is, it's real. And if I have that, I'll be happy, because I am the type person, if I gotta do it by myself, I'll do it by myself. But for the people that are with me, I want them to be people that are with me by choice, not because they don't know what I've done, they don't know who I am, they don't know how I think, they don't know what I believe or how I feel. Like, whether you like it or not, and this is something I'll take from my dad, whether you like it or not, this is the truth. And that's all I'm gonna say it is. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm a great person, a good person. Like, I'm a person. And I think it's a lot of people that just need to be honest about how fucked up we are as people, how fucked up they've been as a person. And so we can get past that and start actually making stuff better, instead of continuing to make it worse, doubling down on dumb, doubling down on dishonesty, doubling down on insecurity, all of this BS. So anyway, for anybody that still fuck with me after this, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, Tom Clarence. Peace.